Thanks for staying here on Joy News today. Researchers warn barbers and other beauticians could be spreading hepatitis B and other infectious diseases through unsterilized tools. The warning follows the outcome of a study by the Clinical Microbiology Department of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Medical School. The research team found over 90% of barbers have no knowledge of the hepatitis B virus and the job-related risk factors of spreading it. Kwesi Deborah has more in this report. Apologies for that. We'll bring you the story later on. Now, the story of a physically challenged woman saddled with the task of feeding 4 children left behind by her late husband has touched the hearts of benevolent viewers. Love FM's Erastus Asare-Donko told the story of Beatrice Baden, a resident of Adanse Atobiase in the Ashanti region. She lives off the benevolence of the public. Some philanthropists have gone to her aid with a cash donation of 15,000 Ghana cedis to enable her start something. Love FM's Erastus Asare-Donko reports.
So about a month ago, we visited Madame Beatrice Baden and told her story of how she survives with 4 children. The husband was knocked down by a runaway vehicle. She's been handling these kids alone. The eldest son is almost losing a left eye because he could not get medical care because she herself needs help. And after we told the story, we had some people, in fact, Mr. and Mrs. Edmond Manti from the UK. They sent in some donation, 500 Ghana cedis. We had some philanthropists, a pastor in the UK, and another woman who doesn't want her name to be mentioned. They all donated some cash for her upkeep.
Since I'm about my common say, Bibia, I come, Mamma say, a new edibiase for a boy, 500. Nammy to me the tonton copon and medical school mo cotton. Tiama, you be edited and needy.
Well, she says after we did the story, some people from this community and the next community, they came to her aid and gave her 500 cedis. And she has been using that to produce popcorn for sale in the neighboring schools. And that is what she's using to feed the children. And today we are also adding on 1,500 to that. Nti DNA say here pa
yes Adam akuma so ne me banani si abako pe eno di hu ade so di hu kura ba ko no entumi enye omu ye zam se kura no che de ni si enimu ye de ni si kura bo mo ntumi ntwa na wetiti nti ni se ni strado for you say ombe hu mo bo no maka o makoma so na o mabo am ne metumi aye me banan so mesane yare e we radudi.
Well, she says her major problem now is the elder son. And last time we told you the story of the elder son, he's losing the left eye. Little Boachi here, and as you can see, the left eye is gone, but the right eye doesn't see much. And he's the eldest of Madame Baden's children. Kwame Cheme, when you know, say Diana, yo.
So, yeah, you walk class, and near Swaying Kusu.
He says she can't see very well. It's hazy, and he feels pain on the surface of the eyes. And what class are they?
So the more class, I'm sure once I swim to a people climb to a clan. I'm sure so Chairman says so. I am too.
Well, said when he's in class, he can't see well. Everything looks dark, and he can't see the letters well to write. Anyway, no.
That was Johnny's story that obviously got results. Now, you remember the street naming and property address system that was launched by the NDC government in 2013? Joy News checks revealed that even after the project was deemed to have been executed, little or no work has been done in some of the districts. Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam has visited one of such districts, the Aboblushi district, and reports a few street signposts were planted at places where there were no streets. He also reports that residents of the area have expressed worry over the shoddy work done by the district assembly there, which they say is a complete waste of government resources.
Government in 2013 gave a directive to the various metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in the country to name all streets and number the houses within their jurisdiction in 18 months. The directive was aimed at ensuring harmonization, consistency, efficiency, and standardization of street addressing system in the various metropolitan, municipal departments and agencies, as well as increase revenues and improve urban management. Isa, capital of the Aboblushi district, was not left out. The district was one of 46 districts created in 2012. It was carved out from the then Naduri District Assembly. As a newly created district, it was challenged in several ways, including the lack of access roads. Residents therefore saw the directive given by the government at the time welcoming and have embraced it. However, 2 years after the fiat, the people are wondering whether the project is yet to start or has been completed in the town. The roads are still the same, or more trouble, bumpy and dusty. The only visible work done regarding the project is the few street signposts planted haphazardly around the community. Even though they have the names of the streets right on the signpost, but same cannot be said of the direction of the street. There is simply no street to point to. Badia Pascal is a teacher and unit committee member and has lived all his life at Isa. He said the inputs of community members were not sought, hence the haphazard implementation.
So looking at this place, Comfrey Street, have you seen the road? No, there is no road. There is no road. But we, those who are a little bit enlightened, have seen that it is road that they want to create there, but the other people don't know. So we will be happy if the assembly can come to inform the community members and then look at how they are going to construct those roads to the other lanes.
Assemblyman for Tegani electoral area, Vatu Zengedie, also has similar concerns. He wants a repeat of the project where the roads in the community will first be constructed.
It's difficult to identify where it is really good, because looking at here, you see that it's just, I cannot even find a road going into the settlement over there. You have only seen one. There are a lot of them. You just see the arrow directing you somewhere, but when you really get there, you don't even know where the road is going to. You can't even find a road. You only see an arrow pointing somewhere. What I think should be done is that where they have kept the arrows, if roads are to be open, the road should be open so that everybody can just look at it and know that this is really a road. But arrows should not point into the bush, and you cannot find any place that is a road there.
The Aboblushi is a coordinating director, Edward Chebere, who also doubles as the acting district chief executive, considered that the project was poorly executed with thousands of Ghana cedis going down the drain.
No, it wasn't done in the right way, but as at the time it was done, I wasn't here. I came and took over from somebody who has since left for Cape Coast Metropolitan. And when I saw it, I noticed the work was poorly executed. But, you know, as an individual, if you have to do something, you have to get support from the bosses. Yeah, I complained and nobody listened. And then now that power has changed hands, I want to take it up with the next DC. As of now, we don't have a DC. I'm acting. So when we get a new DC, I'll raise the issue and see what else we do. Why? Because we don't have anything now in terms of finances. Because if you have to carry out any serious action, take up any activity, or do what will be normal or correct, to put it rightly, then we need money.
One can say, without any scintilla of doubt, that the street naming that took place here in the district over a year ago was done haphazardly. We have street signs, but the streets are not there. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Isa.
And here in the studios of Joy News on TV, my name is Benes Abube. The news that's coming in from NACOP is that 3 persons have been arrested by operatives of the Narcotics Control Board at the Kotoka International Airport for illicit drug trafficking offences. The suspects Madugu Suraku, Maxwell Momo Golafale and Daniel Njoku Egbuta were arrested on different occasions for unlawful possession and trafficking in narcotics while going through arrival and departure formalities at the airport. Madugu Suraku is a Ghanaian. He was arrested on the 29th of March 2017 on his return from Nairobi, Kenya. He was picked up while going through arrival formalities, and a urine test conducted on him proved positive for narcotics. He, upon interrogation, confessed having ingested 35 pellets of a powdery substance suspected to be speedball. Forensic analysis confirmed the substance to be speedball, a combination of cocaine and heroin, all illicit narcotic substances. On the other hand, Maxwell Momo Golafale, a Liberian, was arrested on the 31st of March 2017 while going through departure formalities to China. The suspect had concealed in his luggage 2 slabs of compressed dried leaves suspected to be cannabis sativa, popularly referred to as weed. Daniel Njoku Egbuta, a Nigerian, was apprehended on the 5th of April 2017 on his arrival from Sao Paulo, Brazil. A urine test conducted on him subsequently proved positive for cocaine. The suspect, Egbuta, had ingested 111 pellets of cocaine. He confessed being an ex-convict, having served jail sentences for similar drug trafficking offense in Ecuador. He has since his arrest expelled all 111 pellets of cocaine. All 3 suspects have since been arraigned for prosecution. The general public is herein being sensitized to be mindful of the harmful effects of narcotic drug use. It should be noted that the law will not spare any person or persons found culpable to illicit drug offences stipulated in the PNDC Law 236. However, persons with drug use problem are encouraged to seek attention. NACOP wishes to assure the general public of its continuous commitment to fighting the illicit drug trade. It therefore appeals to the public to partner the board in its cause, as the fight against illicit drug trafficking and substance abuse is a shared responsibility. So that was just some news coming in from NACOP. Away from that, researchers warn barbers and other beauticians could be spreading hepatitis B and other infectious diseases through unsterilized tools. The warning follows the outcome of a study by the Clinical Microbiology Department of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Medical School. The research team found over 90% of barbers have no knowledge of hepatitis B and the job-related risk factors of spreading it. Kwesi Deborah has more in this report.
28-year-old Lucia Japoma is a hairdresser at a Drampong in the Chumakwauma district of the Ashanti region. She has known and practiced only one method of cleaning her equipment, applying hair conditioners or shampoo with a toothbrush. Lucy believes this prevents spread of infection. We use water, she says, together with shampoo and brush to clean the combs. It's 11 a.m. at Fuasi in the same district. I'm in the shop of 22-year-old barber Kwekudria. He gets ready to attend to his third client for the day. Unlike Lucy, Kweku uses an ultraviolet sterilizer. When there's no electricity supply, he uses a comb and a new razor blade for each person. The machines are many. When I'm done shaving one person, I would put it into the sterilizer for 30 minutes. Health officials warn poor sterilization can cause transmission of infectious diseases. The study conducted in Kumasi sought to establish the link between the barber's knowledge of occupational risk that could contribute to the spread of hepatitis B virus infections. Hepatocellular carcinoma, also called liver cancer, is reported as a leading cause of cancer mortality among males in Ghana. Leader of the research team is Dr. Muhammad Mutuchelu.
As a virologist and a research scientist, I'm aware that about 15% of Ghanaians are chronically infected with hepatitis B virus. Even we have done research on that and we have reported in 2014. And I'm also aware that hepatitis B virus is 100 times more infectious than HIV. And I also go to the barbering shop to trim my hair more often, almost every week. So I have been watching them, and I thought I should research into their knowledge of viral infection.
The randomized cross-sectional study surveyed 200 barber shops in Kumasi between January and August 2013. Barber shops, which operated continuously for more than 8 months, were selected for the study.
We also wanted to know if if hepatitis B and C could be transmitted by sharing blade or razor blade. Again, surprisingly, 7% of them knew that hepatitis B and C, so about 93% of them had no idea.
The research also found 46% of barbers use ultraviolet radiation sterilizers, 29% use 70% alcohol, and 27% use antiseptic solutions. Interestingly, the researchers found many of the barbers who use ultraviolet radiation method to sterilize their instruments replace malfunctioning UV light bulbs with mercury bulbs. The UV radiation cabinets are designed to kill germs, including viruses, by destroying their DNA, but most barbers seem not to know the actual mechanism of sterilization.
The UV sterilization cabinets, most of them were not functional, were not actually doing the purpose of sterilization. Some of them were majority of them were using mercury bulbs, and then some of them didn't even have light source. So we thought they didn't really understand even the purpose of sterilization.
Dr. Motichelu says giving training for the barbers is required towards prevention of blood-borne infections associated with their profession. The Ghana Health Service recommends common household bleach Parazone as an effective emergency sterilization substance for barbers and hairdressers.
Every Parazone have a strength on it. So if the strength, for example, the strength is 3% or 3.5%, you multiply by 2 and then you get 7. If it is 5%, when you multiply by 2, you get 10. Whichever strength the Parazone have, you need to just subtract. If you get 10 or you get 7, subtract 1 from the 7, and so your answer will be 6. All that is saying is you are taking 1 part of Parazone and 6 parts of water to make your solution. Most of the time, you need to have 2 solutions of this Parazone we are talking about. When you have missed, then we call it 0.5% strength of that solution. That is what you use to make your instrument as safe as possible.
You just want to be sure that your barber or hairdresser is actually really sterilizing those tools they use on you. Away from that, Interior Minister Ambrose Derry has directed security personnel deployed to Aboblushi to retrieve all illegal weapons as investigations begin into clashes that led to the death of one person. There's heavy security presence in the area following the clash between Kokombas and the Gombas on Tuesday. Both sides are said to have used arms and other deadly weapons in the attacks. This morning, host of the AM show, Roland Walker, visited the area, and this is what he found out.
Coming to you live from the Kokomba Yam Market here at Aboblushi, and we know that it's been the scene where we witnessed clashes about 2 days ago. And we've had the Minister of the Interior, Ambrose Derry, as well as other important dignitaries and heads of the various security heads in Ghana come here to ascertain the veracity or perhaps the result or the issues perhaps that were underpinning the conflicts that happened. As of now, we have the leadership that have been dedicated both the Kokombas as well as the Dagomba to speak on their behalf. But concretely, what we can see here is that there's still the presence of the security agencies. You have personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces, as well as security personnel of the Ghana Police Service who have made their presence felt. It is important for security to be intensified in this area, more especially when we have the IGP David Asantia Pietu visiting here over the last 24 hours to get to have an insight into what really may have happened and also get to see whether normal business activities could improve. And as of now, you can see that the various personnel of the military are ready to make sure that whatever happens, they clamp down on it as quickly as they can. And just behind me, activities for the various traders of yam and other goods and services are already undertaking briskly their businesses just to make sure that normal trade and commerce goes on as usually you would find at the Kokoma Yam market before the conflict or before the event or the incidents that happened about 48 as well as 72 hours ago. Ma, it's saying, now, what Tom Bayer and I say,
me by the tower.
bit more than a crash at my camera. Oh, Ferriana, we're ferry in the Pacho. Now, you ought to him.
The Pacho made a dark woman.
And to whom I help a Fabayer and all for France or Abaton.
There be a better Hayato.
Now, to see an Osha since in Yamanisi Wahano, or Osha to see an atmosphere net saying.
They say a Jana blast, set and crossword to moon to member.
Inti aya mo a dreadful and any sign Yamane Hamo.
A higher move, a higher pa,
a Quambenso.
I said, the sea and in Tama, yet by the Katash, by be bra pro. And so said, and then the sea and I could be as I buy and care beton right to me and be near muscle into a higher pa.
Na catch them yet, say, by your the Bassana, remember some moton by your say Mukoyi Sana, Namokan Kaya.
Ah, Yokoya, every cotton or body wire bar near Shady Abigo, now you share tongue or you go buy a near tongue.
Yo, Medawase. Now, Mupenny no sewing.
Patch your penny power office or
one more office no. So that's the situation here. You get to find that many of these women they come to the yam market here in Accra and they try as much as possible to get the quantities that they want based on, of course, what their capital is, and then they have to make ends meet. And if you interact with them, the responses are that because of what happened in terms of the incidents that happened, their trade activities have been disrupted. More critically is the fact that they also have some shortage in their normal daily sales and also don't have the number of people coming to patronize their wares as usually they would find. Maya to say,
ayo.
Now, Bayern is only for him now, the Cucumber market.
Yeah, for North.
Nothing, what's enough of the action?
Could you quote a Tambalewa, Chamba, Bonacha, for example, Baza, bebre, no for crop bebre,
now, Bayano, since Yamani Sisi and now Modetoana, a month from Betono, mobile to saying,
Nina say, Yabaka, Nina say, that you can sign a pay as you can say, Yabaka.
Yes, and a month from Beton.
Send him Pamba. Send him Pamba, Nina say. Nina say.
No, into Mumpenny for more chairman, or more more market activities, no, so almost a day. Mumpenny for an interest almost a Mwaben or meets Media Bomo.
I need a magic.
Yes, a man Casao. So there's some level of fear and trepidation among the traders. Now, you get to find out for many of these traders, they would have to either come from far and near distances within the capital to come and undertake their trade. Now, it's not only about the quantities and the amount that they deal in, but also the normal patrons who will have to perhaps also come here and don't have the kind of atmosphere they usually are used to. And it's all because of the situation that happened the last 48 to about 78 hours. The IGP so far is assuring that personnel will be stationed here, making sure that the peace and security of the area will be assured.
Meanwhile, the West African Network for Peace Building, WANEP, is asking government to use persuasion as it begins a disarmament program at Aboblushi in a bid to rid the community of arms. The action comes 2 days after deadly clashes there left one dead. In an interview with me earlier on News Desk, the National Research Coordinator of WANEP, Albert Young, asked for education for the residents of Aboblushi as well.
I think now the presence of security in Aboblushi, that is okay to stabilize the area and ensure that there is law and order. And the minister, the IGP, and all the leaders in terms of what is being done at the moment. We may want to forcefully take, but I tell you, sometimes these arms are located in a way that we cannot really detect them. And so we also need to give the leaderships of these groups, talk to them, encourage them, so that the retrieval is not as punishment, but that is something that is for the group they themselves, because they will be found wanting, reaching them, and that can affect their own future, their own freedom, as probably prosecuted and maybe depending on what happens. So I think there's also a need to educate them. Also that I sometimes feel very sad when I travel around on road and there are vehicles that the security checkpoints to check. Some of the times there is a feeling that some arms might be concealed in goods. And I have the thinking that if we have some equipment or some of these key checkpoints equipped with machine scanners that can detect arms in goods that the security just by hand, a manual test detect, that will also help. Whether we like, you remember what happened, Massive, the quantum of arms that were retrieved in the CP Kofi time, and it will tell you that there are more so many communities, and we need really to work very, very hard. Otherwise, it might.
So that's Albert Young from WANEP, who was speaking on the directive of Interior Minister Ambrose Derry for the disarmament in Aboblushi. You're watching Joy News today. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, I'll be telling you what Otumfuo has been saying about importation of vehicles. Thank you for staying here on Joy News today. There's no need to import vehicles into Ghana when locally assembled Kantanka models are available. That's the position of Asantehene Otumfuo said to the second after taking delivery of a car of Kantanka made in Kumasi. It is one of 3 ordered by the Asante King from Kantanka Automobile as a gesture of supporting locally manufacturing companies to grow.
The 4x4 SUV is customized for the Asante King with the brand name Kantanka Otumfo. Royal kente cloth is carefully used to design the interior of the car. After carefully examining the vehicle, Otumfo remarked stressed, no need to import vehicles into Ghana when an indigenous automobile firm can produce them. Chief Executive of Kantanka Automobile, Kwadwo Safo Jr. says it is time for Ghanaians to support the local industry by patronizing made in Ghana products.
If you have a look at the seating in the car, the normal Kantanka or 94 seats are made of leather, black leather and beige. But with the Otumfo's Kantanka, his is not even called the 94. His own is called the Kantanka Otumfo. Aside that, it has kente with leather seats all over, and it has his own crest also nicely embroidered in it. He was extremely happy.
It's now time for business here on Joy News Today.